Oukitel straight up abandoned me. So I gotta take matters into my own hand. What I am gonna do is to cut them a little bit of slack. I feel like I worked with Oukitel many years ago on the Oukitel P2001. It stopped working on me. It has this issue where the port melted. I think that Anderson port was not rated for the amps that they say it was rated at. And also the screen stopped showing an accurate reading. The crazy thing about all of this is even though I didn't pay full price, I did spend some money on the device, and the device had an issue, I think, within the warranty time period, and they ghosted me. I've emailed support multiple times to multiple email addresses, and their customer service has been non-existent. And I'm annoyed at it, to be honest, but all is not lost. I just have to make do with what I'm gonna make do with. Now, the device has a melted Anderson port, and I'm a solar first guy. I don't like charging stuff from the wall, but it has been being used as a glorified step stool. Not a step stool. It raises my Blue Yeti AC200P up because the screen on that is pretty much useless unless you're looking at it dead on. And what I did do when it was working kind of sorta, I will power dump from the AC200P into my Oukitel and use it as a reserve, because the AC200P can take in a lot of solar, which means it gets full really fast unless you're burning through a lot of power. But I'm gonna have to take it out of there, and I'm gonna do something to it that I learned from Ramblin' Bob Reviews. He did a whole video on it. It's a long video, but it's a useful video. And Jason Noy also mentioned it to me that there's 3 big screws that you can pull out of there and take the lid off. And when you take the lid off, you actually find something very useful. Ooh. I think there's just 4 screws under these little joints, and those will be the things that allow me to get access to an XT60 cable that is right about here. These do seem like I'm gonna need Allen keys, so I got a bunch of these here. Figure out which one fits. Pick the right Allen key the first time. Catch me outside, how about that? All right, we got 2 left. It's about as far as it needs to go. Maybe a little more, and then it'll just come right out like so. Let's see what we could do here. Look at that, it just came right off. All right, this is not very welcoming. This is definitely above my pay grade, guys. But I'm seeing an XT60 connector, I think right here. So I definitely gotta go watch this video. I would presume that I'm just gonna pull that out. So I have been checking out his video, and it seems like if I just pull this out, this piece right here, okay, the male is inside, and this is the female. Now let me look at something real quick, because this is an XT60 cable to MC4. This joint right here is more like my input source. So all I need to do is go solar into here, and then it'll start charging. But because this is so poorly accessible, I will want to have either an XT60 extension to get this cable away from here and then somewhere out here, so that I could just come over and easily plug in. So I could essentially take this anywhere right now that has an XT60 connector, and I could pop it right in and it should charge. Let's test out the theory. So I got me a nice long 6-foot cable. I'm just gonna throw it into this Renogy flex panel because it has the ends open already. So you can see, like I was saying, this one is a female. So the goal is to pop that right in here. Now, should this be open while it's charging? I don't know. I would imagine not. Okay, let's just pull that. We're gonna pull that just out of there. So it is plugged in. You can see the problem here with the screen just showing 188. No input yet. I don't think this is one that needs 36 volts. I doubt that's the case. Whoa! Started smoking, guys. Let's unplug this. That joker popped on me. So I'm sure I just bust out one of these little capacitors. I can actually see it right there. So I'm pretty sure that that thing right there is what blew, because you could look at all the other capacitors and they're flat. Look at that one flat. So I hit up my friendly YouTube neighborhood tech guru and Setai's Tech Adventures. So it looks like what happened was this particular XT60 is for this DC joint over here. So I'm never going to use that again because that's probably, that capacitor is probably blown. So I found the one that was Anderson and I unplugged it. But sadly, this one is a male on this side. And then the inside of that is a female. But I had an adapter from my AC200P that basically was a female XT60 to, sadly, another Anderson. But this gets me working again, and I just can't throw 15 amps into it anymore, which is fine. I'll figure that out. But this may be on board again, and then hopefully this particular situation is just dead, but everything else is good. Let's actually do some testing here. I want to see if AC charging is still going to work, and then I'm going to check and see if solar charging is still working. So stick with me here, because even when I thought I had blown the MPPT charge controller, I was asking Setai, like, maybe the AC charging will still work, and he was like, maybe it should, could possibly. So now that I know that I've blown this DC joint, maybe AC and the MPPT charge controller is gonna work. So just plugged it in. Okay, so I don't know if I trust this, guys. Charging at 500 and some odd watts, but it is charging. So I heard a lot of clicking in here when I plugged it in. This is beyond my pay grade. I'm gonna hit up Setai again and see what he thinks, because I ain't gonna keep messing around with this and possibly hurt myself. Bruh, I went and got some safety glasses. I'm gonna unplug this and plug it into here. Charging, there are no sparks, so I'm gonna say that this is still working. 230 watts. All right, I feel like it's an option. I just got to figure out what I'm going to do with this circus that is up here. Let me make a point here. This is why, one, I like power stations. Two, I don't like taking things apart because I'm a rookie out here in these streets. So I tried to endeavor to do something. But yeah, this thing is busted and can't be trusted. Oukitel sucks for abandoning me the way that they did. I can't say that I'm genuinely concerned about you guys buying devices and not being able to get support at this point. I think because I dealt with them so early in the game that their support kind of protocol was not solidified. I imagine that if you emailed Oukitel support, you would get a response. They sent me with an automated joint and were just like, yeah, you've reached us. If you bought on Amazon, use this address. So the people on the main support page never really engaged with me to find out what my situation was. And then Amazon, basically, the Amazon support email didn't result in anything either. So, all right, y'all be beautiful. It is Ive. If there's anything pertinent, I'll drop it down in the, you know what I mean?